The Joe Rogan Experience.
So 2019, what did we do to Ben Askren? That was you and me, bro. We had a big part of that.
I'm still a fan.
I'm a huge fan.
That's my quarterback.
I'm a huge fan, but 3 fights in the UFC. I
tough
think
go.
2 things happened. 1, big time off of competing. 2, competing in one FC against is not the same level of competition, I don't believe, as even he fought in Bellator.
Not even close.
And then 3, the guy's got a fucked up hip.
He's also older though. People forget, when Ben got to the UFC, he was an older dude. He had a lot of fights. He was older. They didn't get him when he was a young
this hip thing's
spring chicken.
This hip thing's not a new thing.
No,
with all due respect.
Please,
with all due
please
respect,
don't disrespect him.
with all due respect.
I do respect
as
him.
great a grappler as he is, he's simply not. He's not a good striker, and he's not close to a striker that you need to be in the UFC. He just isn't. If maybe I'm blind, but if you're going to tell me that Ben Askren is a
no one's going to argue this, Brian.
right,
no
so you can't be in the UFC without being that well
but
rounded,
he's such a good grappler that it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It didn't matter until
He didn't lose to Damian Maia because of his striking.
True.
He didn't lose.
But
he was
losing
to Masvidal. That was some crazy shit. Who saw that coming? You know
whatever
what I mean?
happened with the Robbie Lawler fight, I believe, and whatever it was, whether he tapped or he didn't tap, I believe there are guys in the UFC like that, a lot of guys like that would have done the same thing to him and would not have gotten caught in that thing. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, as great as he is,
Ben's grappling was on such a high level.
Right,
that's why we wanted to see it.
You're right. His striking was subpar for sure.
Just out of respect, I'm just saying.
But his grappling is so good that it doesn't matter.
That's why he was there. He was there because he's a specialist. I mean, his grappling's off the charts. And Robbie Lawler, there's no argument whether or not Robbie Lawler tapped. He definitely didn't tap. They just thought he might have been out.
They threw him to the wolves, dude. Think about the guys they threw.
Robbie
Lawler.
That's what it is.
Say the same thing about Khabib, though. Khabib's so formidable because of his grappling and what he's able to do.
Right, but Khabib didn't take any time off like that. Taking the 2 years off that Askren took off and being 36.
Yeah, people forget he was older, but also when you say throw him to the wolves, it's also like you were a champion from one championship. Like you were a former world champion. So when he come over, the UFC ain't playing games. Look at Eddie Alvarez. He had a tough go. Look at Justin Gaethje. He was 0-2.
Yeah.
Like they're you want to come over and you're a world champion, you're getting some dogs, man.
Anything can happen.
It just shows you that if you're not fighting the UFC, and I know, Scott Coker, I love Scott Coker. If you're not fighting the UFC, it ain't shit, man.
You know what?
Here's where I disagree. Douglas Lima. I think Douglas Lima might be right up there with everybody else at 170.
At 170?
He might be one of the best in the world. He might be able to knock out all of them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He might.
You think he beats
lose.
Usman?
Listen to me.
You think he beats Colby?
He might lose, but he might knock them out. No, you're out of your mind, man. Listen,
I love
Lima
the dude.
is world class.
He's right up
when
there.
I watch him fight Michael Venom Page, when I watch him fight
McDonald.
Semtex when he fought Paul Daly, dude, he is.
Think about the guys just list off.
As legit as it comes.
Now go through Kamaru or go through Colby's or go through Woodley's or Darren Till's past 5 opponents.
That's true.
You're not fighting the best day in, day out. You're fighting one guy who's really good, and then you got 2 off.
He's beating the best in front of him. Lost to Rory in a very close fight, and then beat him in the rematch. But what I'm seeing from him is world class skills. And ridiculous knockout power. He may or may not be able to beat those guys. The thing is, you never know. But he's definitely in the conversation.
Yes.
For me, when I look at ability, when I look at what he can accomplish, even though he's
he's
fighting,
also a huge 70-year.
He's a big motherfucker, man. He's got some serious power. When he KO'd Koreshkov, when he KO'd Michael Venom Page, I'm like, he's a monster. He could KO anyone.
He's a monster. Yeah. And I love Lima. Doug's, I get so much respect for him. But to me, until you're in the UFC and you're in that grind, it does.
You know what?
It's true that you can't say he's the best. That's true, but you can't say he's not world class. I think that guy's.
I'm not saying he's not world class, but I can't say he would beat the UFC's champ or he would be a top 5.
You can't say it in that division. That division's too crazy.
You can't say it in any division.
Masvidal could beat any 170 pounder alive on any given night. He can light up any 170 pounder.
How do you think him and Usman would go?
So could Usman. It's these guys. You got to realize. Humans in fighting are never a flat board. It's always just like a little wibbly, a wobbly, a ankle's fucked up, I got a headache, I'm having a hard time wake up, my girlfriend's fucking with me, I'm getting over the flu. They're never exactly at the same level in every fight. So there are guys that are at a level where you catch them when you're up and they're down and you win, or they're up and you're down and they win. That's real, man.